right, hi, this is Dan. Dan, this video is going up to YouTube. Are you okay with that going on to YouTube?
I'm fine with it.
Okay, so we're here in Durham Region and we are at Memorial Park and I'm speaking with Dan and he's going to tell us and share his story. So go ahead, you have all eyes on you.
Well, I guess the first thing I want to say is everybody down here has a story. Everybody down here is different. Everybody's outcome is different and the results why they're here is different.
Yeah.
For myself, I had 2 weeks ago, I had 2 apartments. I had a job. I had everything going for me. It was unfortunate. I was losing one apartment. I gained another one in the property management sector. I had to give that up because I couldn't afford to move. So I had to give up the second apartment, which basically put me on the street. I had a family member that tried to assist, help me out, put me into a hotel for about 10 days, 8 to 10 days. And I still couldn't get anything concrete from there. And I ended up out here. Out here, I've found help and aid from the Cornerstone Shelter and the John Howard Society. They're helping a lot of people right now. If they need tents, if they can't get into shelters, they're passing out tents to try and help with aid. Mm-hmm. There are several places down here that will feed you. And usually they help everybody that they possibly can, and they go out of their way to help everybody they can. There's a lot of drugs, a lot of alcohol, a lot of prostitution. The prostitution is brought on by drugs. I'm probably asked 20 times a day if I'd like a date, because they need their fix. They're not getting the help they need. They're not getting, off the street. They're not getting anything towards drugs. The women's shelter is in Whitby or Ajax. It's not feasible down here. Women are down here all the time.
Yeah.
They don't really have the shelter they need. With Cornerstone's a great place. Problem is, I think there's more drug addicted people in there than there are anything else, and the drugs seem to come out of that place.
Yeah.
So as it stands right now, I haven't made it to a room. I've been out here, this is now day 8 that I've been with Cornerstone. I still sleep on a mat on the floor, but at least it's a roof over my head for the time being. I've had, in the last 2 days, I've had 5 job interviews, and I've sent out a total of 74 resumes in the last 3 days.
That's awful.
Just trying to get out of this lifestyle. I have a 6-year-old son that's my world and keeps asking when he's going to come to my apartment and play video games again, which is hard.
Yeah.
And I just bring him to the beach and say, hey, right now, Dad's between places.
Yeah.
We'll hang out at the beach for a few hours. We'll kick the soccer ball around.
Yeah.
We'll, play football. He's 6. He doesn't get it.
Right.
But it's heartbreaking out here. And I left the shelter at 7 o'clock this morning. I hit every place around here looking for work today. That was my mission. I spent 9 hours looking for work. I had one place that was willing to accept a resume. We'll see what happens there. I've actually sent resumes as far as Mississauga for working as property management, which I've done a lot in the past and I'm very successful with, but it puts me miles away from my son who now lives in Bowmanville. So I kind of have been trying to stay local. So to be around my son, you take any job you can.
Yeah.
It's,
So you said that you've been on the streets for 8 days. 8 days at Cornerstone.
8 days at Cornerstone, yeah.
How hard of a transition was it going from an apartment of your own to living by the moment, really?
Well, funny thing is, I was actually born and raised in the beach in Toronto. I was brought up with all the money I could ever want, spoiled brat kid,
Yeah.
right? Had everything and anything. I moved out here in 2014 to help the people that spoiled me and made me a brat.
Right.
And my mom ended up having to go into a home. My dad passed away 6 months after I moved out here, and that was from cancer. That was the reason I moved out, was to help them. I gave up an amazing job in downtown Toronto to move here to help them. And, the one passed away. The one's now in a nursing home, barely remembers my name. And I've got a 6-year-old, which is the reason I don't want to stray too far from Durham.
Sure.
The question being, it terrified the hell out of me because they put me up in a hotel when I lost the other apartment. They put me up in a hotel for 8 days, which was amazing of them. But on the 8th day, I was told they couldn't afford to keep me there, which I understand fully.
Right.
I couldn't get work by that point. They told me to try Cornerstone. I didn't know what I was getting into. I'd never been on the streets in my life. I've never been out here. And, they do have the police again. This seems to be normal.
How are they? How are the police towards you?
I haven't had a run-in with the police yet,
Good.
but the police seem to be down here more than anywhere in Oshawa.
Right.
On average, there was people screaming in the parking lot of Cornerstone last night. We had 4 cop cars there last night. We had 3 there the night before dealing with another issue.
Right.
It's always something down in this neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's the fact that there's so few beds at Cornerstone. I was lucky to get one myself.
Yeah.
There's so few beds and so many people on the street. The people that are on the street, all they do is, it's either the big two down here is crystal meth and down, which is heroin.
Right.
Those are the 2 big ones. If Cornerstone doesn't see you making an effort to find a place of your own or a job, you're out in about 2 weeks. I've been making nothing but efforts, and they see that, which is good. I'm one of the few that will stay there possibly for a month or 2 if I need to. But I watched somebody get thrown out of there yesterday. I saw somebody else get thrown out this morning because of lack of effort. They would rather run the streets. And the thing is, there's not enough housing here. There's no housing. There's not enough help for people.
Now, what do you feel about the micro-housing? They said that they're putting in micro-housing, and we have started it.
I heard about the Ritson and Olive area.
Yep.
I haven't heard good things about it.
Okay.
I've never been by there. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
So I couldn't really give you a
It looks pretty good.
proper
I've drove by.
judgment.
It looks pretty good. Yeah.
From what I've been told, they look nice.
Yeah.
But the police are probably there more than they're here.
Is that right? Wow.
So it's
just moved the problem, really.
Well, it's not so much move the problem. Excuse me. They're dispersing the problem.
Right.
So
what do you think are the answers? What could we do to make change here?
Oh, honestly, the sad thing is they're trying everything they can already.
Yeah.
I think people are the change. And if a lot of these people don't want to change their habits, nobody's going to help them. Right behind us, there's a church. And they hand out meals between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. full meal with a coffee, and there's so many homeless up there that are there all night waiting for it to open. There's needle depositories everywhere where you can deposit your needles. They're full. Even the scary part is, even in Cornerstone, which is a shelter,
Right.
that you're not supposed to be using drugs.
Right.
In the bathroom, there's a needle depository, which is overflowing.
Jeez.
And that's basically, that tells you everything right there.
Yeah.
You know, when there's that many people using needles, and that's only needles.
Yeah.
Down in this area, you can't take 20 steps without seeing a broken crack pipe on the sidewalk somewhere.
Yeah.
You'll see glass, that's a broken crack pipe. Somebody mad because they ran out of meth.
Yeah.
They've smashed it on the ground, and then they've gone out the next day, bought another one, and bought more crystal meth. And you see them walking up and down the streets, either hunched over because they're so full of heroin, or talking to themselves and freaking out because they're on crystal. That's the norm out here. Like, this is, I've got a scary thing is a lifetime ago, which it feels like a lifetime ago. I lived in Los Angeles when I got out of high school as a drummer. This was never, LA was never this bad. All the time I spent in LA, it was never as bad as this area for drugs. And then I spent 13 years with Mississauga Fire Department doing inspections of all things.
So if somebody could reach out to me that might have a job to be able to help you out, is there some way I could reach you after today?
Oh, of course.
So, is there somewhere that I can find you? Because I feel like someone watching my channel might actually
through
have
Cornerstone, or I don't want to put my phone number out.
No, please don't.
But I could be emailed at Danny, DANNY, English, ENGLISH, at gmail.com.
Okay.
That's an easy way to get me.
Yeah.
I check my emails daily because I'm constantly looking for work. So, I mean, you know, anybody has job suggestions or any thoughts, I'm always reachable there.
Yeah, for sure. Or if anybody's watching this, we're not live right now, but when it's posted to YouTube, if anybody's watching this who wants to help you out and give you a job, even a starter,
sure.
they can replay that email address.
I renovate houses.
Okay.
There's not a tool made I don't know how to work.
That's wonderful.
You know, I'm very handy. I've done building maintenance for 15 to 18 years on and off. So, you know, there's not much I don't know how to do. But it's just a matter of getting back on my feet and getting there. You know, so I look at some of these places as a step up, and but then I look at the neighborhood as about a 5-step down.
Yeah.
Right?
Everybody has to start somewhere.
That's
though,
right. Of course.
You know, it'll get better as long as you stay motivated.
Oh, it'll get better. Like I promised my kid, I'll be off the street shortly. Well, I didn't say that I'd be off the street. I said I'd be back playing video games with him soon.
Right.
You know, in a new apartment would be the way I put it.
Good.
Right.
And just angle it.
At that age, you can't make too many comments, you know?
Yeah. They don't understand either.
Not at all.
So thank you so much, Dan, for
Of course.
It's starting to rain, so I'm going to cut it short, but
Of course.
I'm just going to stop there.